There's popcorn. Is that popcorn? And the oil is said you can I like your kids. Very interesting. Or just slaughtering on their Let me just go see what Fraser's doing. I just need We're not open yet, I think. I'm just going to take pictures.
That's what I'm saying, he's in the cast.
Yeah, I think they're not ready yet at all.
Oh, they're not ready.
Where's everyone gone then? That's why we came through.
Everybody just followed me. I don't know why.
No, in front of you. Yeah, they're all in there.
His face is in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right, we'll let the cast do their thing.
Grab a couple of things. I'm saying this up from the rest of for the family. So, I didn't know that we were coming in, so I didn't tell them, and they're going to be like.
Can we go down that one there?
You can go in this one, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm just saving this row, sorry.
Want to go on this one?
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you, how are you?
Okay, good, thank you.
Hello. It's really hard trying to ask you questions after just sitting watching a really sweet film for 20 minutes. I was so engrossed in it, I had to keep reminding myself that I've got to get up here with a microphone and introduce a bunch of people. So that's quite awkward. So Fraser, I want you up here to help me introduce them, because I'm not sure who's coming on stage.
I have a list. Okay, round of applause for Lily Maguire.
Go on, Lily.
Woo! Have a come.
Come on.
Gary
Come on, Lily.
Hollywood. Juliet Cadzo. Ethan Doherty. Lucy Linger, Lindsay Jenkins, Valerie Andrews, and me.
That is a lot of people for a 20-minute Q&A. Take seats. I'm going to get you to help me co-host this, Fraser, because we work really well together.
Yeah.
I first co-hosted a panel 10 years ago with Fraser, Cops and Monsters in Nottingham.
A long time ago.
I hope I can get away with saying that Faithful is leaps and bounds from Cops and Monsters, which I enjoyed Cops and Monsters, but wow, Faithful was amazing. Where's the leaps and bounds? Is it Lucy and all the... Go on, you tell me. How is it better?
What about that one? Years of experience. Did you all like that?
Yeah.
Should we make a feature-length version? You heard them, STV, you're in the room. Yeah, let's hand it over to Lucy.
A quick... Here's a really quick one. I was speaking to Fraser last week, saying it's only a week to go, because I know how long he spent putting this film to, and obviously the rest of the crew, but I speak to Fraser semi-daily. And I said, how are you? And he went, I'm really, really nervous. I'm like, why? He said, what happens if the film's, and I'll replace the word, what happens if people don't like it? It's not good. I'm like, well, it will be good, because I've seen a lot of the behind-the-scenes footage and seen the amount of hard work that's gone into it from everybody, and it's blown my mind. I get to do all this remotely. So it wasn't terrible, Fraser. Did the applause not,
It helps.
you know, did it help?
It helps.
Right.
It's always nerve-wracking, I think, when you're showing. I do a lot of work in theatre, and that was what I kept telling myself, like, it's done. They can't like miss their lines or anything like that. It's a finished product. But in a way, there's also something very final about that like whatever is done is done. There's no, I can't bring people into rehearsal tomorrow morning and say we need to work on this, or we need, it's a very sort of finished product, and so that there is definitely nerves around that, and particularly I think for this kind of audience, because it's so much of our cast and crew, and that's one of the things that's, I think, very strange for other people, and why my job is such a privilege, because people put their faith in you. They come and they do their little bit of the puzzle, and they trust that you've got the box with the picture and that you know what you're doing. But you don't actually know that we know what we're doing until we get here and see it. So I think there's that, certainly for both Fraser and I, we felt a real responsibility to the cast and the crew who had put so much work into it, to take all of those little pieces that were done and put them all together and make it into greater than the sum of its parts, which is what you're always trying to do.
So 18 minutes runtime for a film. Mm-hmm. How long from the moment that Fraser sent you the draft to now?
October 2022.
October 2022, there we go. Well, it was when Fraser and I first met, he pitched me the idea, and I said I thought it sounded really interesting and I'd love to read the script, and he said, oh no, there's not a script. And I said, okay, well, I'd love to read any script, go away and write one. And so that's what he did. And he went away and wrote the script. And so I've been on the project since the very beginning.
Sorry.
This one was pretty much before. So yeah, it's been a long old run. We did the teaser first, which is where we first got to work with Lily, which was Lily's first on-screen job. What a gift to a director to be to find somebody like Lily for a lead role like this, when you're just absolutely fantastic. So we knew from the teaser, I was like, oh, brilliant, she's going to do my job for me and make me look amazing. I'm very excited about that.
I have a question for Lily. You've always wanted to be in films. How does the dream of being in a film compare to the reality of seeing it on a big screen in a theatre, everybody clapping and laughing at the right places and just being swept up by it all?
I think it still kind of doesn't actually feel real, even though, yeah, I know we're all here watching it, like, because it's been going on for so long to see the final product. Amazing to see it all come together like that.
And having seen a lot of the behind the scenes featurettes, I basically got sent by Fraser and Kat who's in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Kat, thank you, Kat,
Kat.
for filming everything.
Cheers.
Brilliant. A huge amount of behind the scenes stuff, and then I edited it down into these little stories. And one of the things that fascinated me were the scenes at night in the forest. I know how cold and wet and miserable it was, not because I was there, but I could see it on the behind the scenes thing. What was it like? Because it doesn't really come across as how cold and wet and miserable it really was on screen. What was it like?
Well, the scene with Kimberly at the portal, that was, I think, when it was the coldest, rainiest. So definitely, like, especially for Kimberly and like the dress and all that, at least I had a jacket on. But you can't tell in that, so it's amazing to see the difference from like actually being there to what goes on, like from set to the screen, basically. It can completely change it.
And Gary and Juliet, you've worked with lots of people over the years in really cool things. Annette's told me I'm not allowed to quiz you on Neds for 20 minutes, but I may do that. But I had to get a mention. I love that movie. What was it like? What was your experience with?
Fantastic. You know, I've known Fraser from the past, and when he sent me the script and he said, you know, would you please consider it? And I just text back and said yes. I thought it was brilliant, and he explained who he was thinking of casting, and I thought, well, you know, it'd be silly to turn this down, and of course here's the end result. So yes, it's one of them that's up there to say that we're proud to have been involved in very much. And of course, you know, Lily's talking about exteriors and outside in the freezing cold. What attracted me also it was interiors, isn't that right, Ethan? We went after. It was here in bed for both, so yeah, that was the other attraction of it. We're all having a great time, and again, for such a project and this to be the outcome, and to see that it's been completely crowd-funded, again makes it extra special.
How important is crowdfunding for Fraser?
We wouldn't be here, like literally, like I'm not going to harp on too much about the fact that we don't get supported by Creative
Don't get
Scotland.
started, don't get started.
Where's my box?
Been there, done that.
But literally, like we crowdfunded this since like start of 2023, and literally it's down to everyone in this room, 100 people who gave us money and who believed in it. Like you have to think, just believe that this is a good idea, put it out into the world and hope for the best. But it let me work with the best cast and crew. Like it allowed Lucy and I. Lucy always looks for a unicorn. She calls it in a script, and I don't think there was many people who walked you back
No,
from the
I have to
unicorn.
say, that's what I always say to people, like, because you don't always know what's possible. And what's been funny across my career is that sometimes I've not asked for something because I think it's a unicorn, and then when you eventually say, what I'd quite like is this, they're like, oh, unicorn? Oh yeah, we've got like 200 unicorns out the back here, if only you'd said. So now I always sort of say, in a dream world, this is what I would like to have. And then let people say, well, no, but you can have this horse and this stick, and we'll see what we can do. But in this case, it was just, it was a lot of unicorns, and that's largely down to, as you say, the crowdfunding and that allowing us to employ such incredibly talented people. And that's the thing, I think it's just, I know we keep banging on about it, but it is one of those things when you're sitting watching something, like every single, fairy light hung by the bed, and hair that's done, and makeup, and all of the costumes, the beautiful dress that comes through the portal when Kimberly's wearing that stunning dress, and the way it flows in the wind, all of those things, every single last bit of that, the lighting, and where the cameras go, everything is a human being that has spent such a long time training in that specific skill so that they can bring it to our team and make the whole thing come together and be amazing. And so being able to bring those people in and then give them the funds to do their jobs is the most rewarding part. And I think that's really what success in this industry at the moment looks like, is can we pay people to do their jobs? That's really what we're going for, I think.
If anybody's got any questions, because I keep forgetting that it's not me hogging the thing here, just stick your hand up and...
Best question gets a pint.
Best question gets... He didn't say a pint of what? can go for Diet Coke or whiskey or vodka. Are you ready for a vodka now?
No, I don't
No?
drink
You don't drink? There you go. Pint of vodka? No. So if anybody's got any questions, do stick your hands up. Not yet?
No hands,
Okay.
no.
So Lucy, what's your favourite unicorn that you managed to get in the Make It a Faithful?
Well, it's difficult to say my favourite unicorn, but no, that's too hard. Too hard.
Favourite two unicorns?
I think that probably my favourite unicorn was a self-made kind of a thing that just happenstance. Was the incredible wind fan that is Scottish weather that made Lily, you know, when the portal opens and the hair's all blowing and.
It was an icy westerly wind.
It was just absolutely, it was like raining sideways, and when you actually get it on there, it looks like we hired this amazing wind fan thing just to get that effect. And another thing in the portal, the moment when the dog kisses Lily, and I'm watching on the monitor, and I'm like looking at the rest of the crew, and I'm like, what's happening? The dog's kissing her. Like everyone, I directed that. That dog did exactly what it was told. But yeah, those kind of moments that you can't really. And it was funny because we had to sort of, in order to get the kiss in, we had to cut around other bits and pieces, and it's all the like mechanics that go on behind the scenes to kind of make something like that fit in. But yeah, that was probably, well, as you said, the portal scene was just absolutely
Wild.
It was bonkers, and we did Lily's close up, you know, her first screen work, and we put the camera on a close up, and she did it straight through, one take, absolutely nailed it, and we all gave her a round of applause in the rain and sleet. Like, how did you do that? And I said at the time that you could have very, very seasoned professional actors who couldn't do a close up like that. And then we had the joy of the day that Juliet came down, and we had nice weather actually, didn't we?
Was it? Yeah.
It was.
And can I just say that, you know, the interesting thing is with filming as opposed to theatre, you know, which obviously you come out for the day and you're, you know, I was slightly confused because I didn't know quite, you know, how to envisage, you know, what you know, the dogs and you know, what was happening. And so you throw yourself into something with all faith for that day, you know, with the picture, or you're not entirely sure and you're wandering around the woods going, am I doing the right thing here? Is this really what you want?
There'll be a red dog there. And
There'll be a red dog. Okay, fine. You know, and that's the wonderful thing, how everybody pulls together and, you know, and make the magic happen, which is, you know, lovely.
How does it feel to see that scene completed now that the red dog's in?
Well, it was lovely, actually. You know, I got it.
And that is the fun as well, isn't it? When you've got, I mean, especially I always think with Lily, with the green dog as well. When I was literally just in front of her, like going, right, and now there's going to be magic over your head, and then it materializes here, and now he's going to howl at you, and then he's going to howl, and then you're going to howl, and you know, and she's just like. Literally, you know, you've seen the behind the scenes, like you literally have to cut out me just saying, and now this is going to happen and this is going to happen, and you have to, you know, that is the trust between the actors and the director as well, that they have to, like, they just go with what you're saying and they believe that you are going to make it happen, not going to have them standing there. But that's why I love that bit where the green magic goes over Lily's head and she's like this, looking around, because obviously we were there in the cold, horrible weather and there was nothing. And you sell it so well. It really, like, you can't believe that she can't. Like, we didn't have anything for her to even imagine. Like, sometimes they have like a green ball or something for her to look at or something. We had nothing other than her imagination. And the same thing for you, Juliet. You just have to. There's going to be a red firing flaming dog there, and it's going to tell you that you're off to die. Off you go. What do you do?
Yes,
In the
very nicely for the future, actually.
in the scenes with Lily and Kimberly on the behind the scenes, you're both wearing like really big coats because they're freezing, and then say Lucy, you're like, right, get ready for the scene. The coats come off, the summer dresses are there, and it didn't look like it was cold and windy when you were filming it. So that's a testament to your acting
water
skills.
bottles under our coats because it was so cold. It really was freezing cold, wasn't it? And everybody just did an amazing job. And we had like people, everyone was like, I've got her hot water bottle, I've got her hot water bottle, like making sure we were all warm all the time. In fact, when I saw you and our DP when I arrived, he was like, I don't recognise you, not in a raincoat and a hat.
I actually have a question for Ethan, but first of all, can we give Ethan some appreciation for his fantastic...
Can we borrow that for a second? Yeah, I'm going to borrow it. I'm going to fire a question at Ethan.
Yeah.
Ethan's actually got my favourite line in the movie. Did you buy me a dog? Did you get me a dog?
Yeah.
My favourite line in the film was yours.
Did you buy me a dog?
Did you buy me a dog? Brilliant.
We're talking about how the actors were battling the elements and freezing cold, and can I just say, none of them complained once. They were absolutely amazing. I mean, I would have been crying, rocking in a corner, but none of them complained. They just got on with it, and it was incredible to watch, really inspiring. Ethan, you were in a bed the whole time. However, the radiator was on, and it was boiling in that room. Do you remember? It was so hot. And again, you just got on with it, and you didn't complain once. And you were just an absolute superstar. So I just wanted to let everyone know, watch out for this one. Because he is an absolute dream to work with, and we loved having you on set. What was your favourite thing about it?
My favourite thing about it was probably acting it.
Yeah.
Because it was my first movie I ever did, and it felt like a dream to enter actorhood.
And the Scottish BAFTA goes to...
Well done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
For me?
Yeah. What would you, since no one's asking questions, it's fantastic. What was your favourite thing to shoot?
Okay, it was really hard because it was years ago. No, although the weather was horrendous, I think the outdoor stuff that we did in the forest, and hearing like the vision coming from Lucy, what was going to be happening, and just watching everyone, run to the aid of the actors with the jackets and the hot water bottles, but it was the camaraderie on set. Because we were all there, and it was like ridiculous o'clock at night. It was March, it was blowing a hoolie, as they say, and it was freezing cold. And when people say, when you make a feature or something, well done to, they tend to say well done to the production team, but it really does take a village, and everybody was just incredible and really involved. And it felt like by the end of it, we'd created this new family. Heather, we love you, you're adopted, you're staying with us forever. And I think just watching everyone on set work so hard in those conditions, and then watching it tonight on the screen, and remembering all that had went on those nights, I think, that was my favourite.
Can I just say one thing that I've realised we've not said, and this is on me for not saying it so far, but I really wanted to say. Unfortunately, he's not here, but of course we absolutely must mention Peter Butler, who is our VFX guy, who is an artist who did all of our dogs, which was incredible, because I realised when I got into post-production that there was like 1.5 characters that we'd not even met yet, one of which didn't even exist. The red dog, and so I'm having to tell him what I see in my head, and then he's drawing it and creating it, and then bringing it to life. So that was a whole new experience for me. I've not ever directed VFX. Big learning curve, but he was just an incredible person to work with. He's just such an artist, and as I say, things like he's looking at Lily's performance, and then he's got to match the magic, and obviously not only creating the CG from scratch, but also adding CG effects to a real live dog that's running around a kitchen and picking up a toy and all those sort of things. So unfortunately he couldn't be here this weekend, but big part of our of the village.
Can I ask Ellie a question? I'm sure you had a rough idea when you came into this of what to expect and what things were going to happen and things like that. I just was curious to know what kind of caught you off guard the most, what were you most surprised about that kind of turned out completely differently from what you were kind of expecting it to be, as it was all kind of new to an extent?
I went in obviously not having any idea, so it was just a bit of a, right, we'll see what happens. I didn't expect it to be like all Hollywood glitz and glam kind of thing, but I think everybody does have a bit of that in their head, so I know, no, but not me personally, but when people say, oh, you've been in a film, like they expect that, but I wouldn't have changed any of that, because it did mean that, you know, you got to know everybody and you had such a laugh on set. So I think the fact that it did kind of end up being a bit like a family that you had throughout the weekends that we were filming, didn't expect to like meet so many people and get to know them so well in that time too, but yeah.
But you also didn't expect fantastic catering. Heather makes a mean pasta.
Shout out to the big potatoes.
Thank you.
My family who have flown up here, that's our fireworks night dinner that we always make is jacket potatoes with cheese and beans and sausages, and we take in a lot of waifs and strays as a family, so it's a thing that you can just make lots of it, and there's always enough. So I suggested we do it for the crew, and we did it across both weekends, and it went down a storm. Everyone was like, the sausages is a weird time, and then everyone was like, oh, the sausages are the kind of like, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it definitely works. Yeah. So yeah, that's where that comes from.
Got time for one more
So I've got
question.
one more question. Anybody got one, or shall I gobble it up? Nope, I'll go up. Right. What's next for the faithful world? This is more a question for Lucy and Fraser. What is next, and when can we get it?
So Fraser and I are working on a feature-length version of the story, which we're actually going to co-write. We work very well together, and we enjoy working together. So we're hoping to use the short to launch and get some interest in the feature. Often with a short, there is a sense, you know, obviously we crowdfunded it. It's not a huge budget, particularly for something that's got CG in it. So there's an element of this is what we can do with very little money. Perhaps if you gave us some more money, America usually. So we are off to LA, adjacent to WonderCon at the end of this month. So it will be having a US premiere as well. And yeah, hoping to get a little bit of investment either there or over here or both. Because, you know, that's one of the things that I find amazing about the story. You know, Scotland has the most amazing stories. It has such great myths and legends, and it has such an incredible country. I said I've become like a bit of a tour guide in terms of like everywhere I go. I'm saying to people like, why are you going to New Zealand? Why aren't you going to Scotland? It's got such beautiful scenery. People are so friendly. The stories are just fantastic. And I really think, you know, Fraser's got big plans to create a sort of Marvel universe of Scottish myths and legends and bring them to the screen. And we've got, you know, there's an incredibly talented crew up here, and we're hoping to get a lot of work for them all. So that's the plan, hopefully.
That sounds like a good plan. I like that plan.
On that note.
Yep.
So for those of you, some of you got my email, some of you didn't. So after this, very soon, we're going to head out to the after party. Who's excited for a Kaylee? I'm excited for more drink. But we are going to be holding a raffle. We have some amazing prizes. Sharon, where are you? Make your notes. Right, everyone stand up, Sharon. Sharon is genuinely one of the best humans on the planet, and she's like became mum on set. So round of applause for Sharon first of all. Secondly, Sharon has been working so hard this week, getting some raffle prizes and arranging everything. So at the Trades Hall, when you go in, Sharon will be sat at a desk and we'll be doing a raffle. We'll let her come upstairs when we're done. But basically, it's all we had a chat earlier. So basically, what we're going to do throughout the night is do a great raffle. We've got some great prizes, and basically all the money that we raise is to help us get to WonderCon. We do have our premiere out there, but we do have some meetings out in LA as well. People are interested in what we're doing. We might be going to Cannes, hopefully, in May. We've submitted film. We've submitted it to quite a lot of places, and then we're in MCM as well. But we are all on our own dime, so if anyone wants to enter the raffle to get some prizes and help our amazing cast and crew, that would be great. I'm going to shut up now. Thank you so much.
I was going to say a round of applause for them, but you've just done it, so my gig is over now. Hopefully. Oh, we're done. Oh, we're done? Yep. Hopefully everybody will be at the after party. I'm sure they will answer your questions and take big fat donations. Fraser will. And just everybody have a good evening. Everybody's already started having a good evening. Hopefully that continues for you. So thank you very much.
Can the cast and crew hang about for a minute, because I need you all to sign our big poster. But everyone else, we'll see you at the Ceilidh. Thank you very much.
Woo!